Good morning. Uh, this is an interview with Shane Polak, candidate for national president for UVAE. How are you today?
Je suis bien. Ça va bien. Merci. Thank you very much for this interview opportunity.
Oh, that's nice. What's your vision for your candidacy?
My vision. What am I running on? My platform. My platform is to run on a component, a UVAE component that communicates well with its members. That's my number one priority right now. I know Phoenix is high on the list as well as classification reform and making sure that all the members' jobs that were farmed out to MBC, Medavie Blue Cross, are brought back into the department, and that Medavie Blue Cross be a memory of the past. That's my platform so far.
Is it a well organized platform that you're envisioning?
Yeah, in fact, I'm a very organizational person. I'm very organized in a lot of ways. I'm very strategic thinking. I'm very focused. And in fact, my biggest strategy is communication. Like this, communication, having a website that actually communicates with members. Letting members come and talk to us about what their issues are. Putting out surveys to the members, like, the employer's always doing surveys on our website so that we can know what their issues are. So that we want to empower our members. By not communicating with our members, we're taking away that power and keeping it in the national office. The national office needs to distribute the information that they get so that people know what's going on. And a lot of the times, the information's not there. On top of that, the national office needs to ensure that the national or the regional vice presidents speak to their local presidents on a regular basis, and that information's funneling back and forth. A lot of times you'll go to a national executive meeting, I'm sure, and people will go, what's the issues today? Well, things seem to be fine now. Nobody said anything. Well, if nobody's saying anything, it's because you're not communicating with them. There are all kinds of issues going on. So we need to talk to the people, have a website, a good up-to-date Facebook page just for UVAE, an up-to-date Twitter feed so that we can tweet the issues that we're fighting on. The second platform is the Phoenix system. We need to replace, not fix the Phoenix system. Phoenix is broken. It's not fixable. It needs to be replaced. Too long have we been sitting on this issue for almost 2 years now, trying to fix a system that cannot be fixed, and our members are in pain. They're hurting. It's a joke. It's a bad joke that this system is still out there, and they've been trying so much that they've spent almost $500 million trying to fix something that didn't even cost that much to start with. So who's hurting? Our members. Who can fix it? Our members can fix it. We know how to fix it. We have a whole department called Shared Services. They're not doing anything there. They're doing stuff, but they could be creating a program to replace the Phoenix system. Already there we have our resources. Why we didn't use them in the first place, I don't know. But they're there, we got to use them. Third issue, classification reform. We need to get out there, we need to reclassify our classification system. It's broken. It's been broken for many, many years. All the standards, AS standard, PM standard, CR standard, all the standard, WP standard, they're all based on stuff that was written in 1965, updated in the 70s, maybe last time updated in the 80s. Today is the 21st century. We're no longer in the 20th century, not mid-20th century either. We're in the 21st century. Our jobs have changed. The work has changed. What we do has changed. Our thinking's changed. Everything's changed. The classification system's not changed. It's broken. People are not classified properly, and the work that's being done is not being paid for properly. So that needs to be fixed. It needs to be lobbied for. It needs to be changed, and it needs to be changed right now. The last and another important issue is the loss of jobs as we put work to the Medavie Blue Cross. The NCCN systems, they're out of work with respect to doing all the treatment authorizations they used to do. Now it's all privatized, There was a good move at one point where we moved a lot of the VIP work back to Veterans Affairs. that was a good thing. The VIP interface. I was on that multidisciplinary team, and I got award for innovation and excellence for the VIP interface. That's because we developed it in our in-house in Veterans Affairs, and it's a public system. It's not a private system, so it works. Just like the Phoenix system, private. Make it public, it'll work, because public service workers are the best workers in the world. It's proven so in a survey done of all the public service in the world by an outside entity, and they found that Canada's public service is the most efficient and of all the public services in the world. So we got to use our services in the public services because we're the best at it. That's my plan.
You are part of PSAC, and you're also a part of the council, by the way. So you were there in the Burn Phoenix movement, though.
The Burn by Phoenix movement, yeah. I was part of a subcommittee. I have been part of a subcommittee in the BC region, and our subcommittee is to try and lobby the government to do something with the Phoenix system. Some members think we should fix it. I think we should replace it. And we have this Burnt by Phoenix slogan. We created T-shirts, posters, and stuff like that. And we did a wheel, and we went on July 1st, and we've been ever since then talking to the public about how the Phoenix system has been affecting our members and getting their support to lobby the government to replace it.
So you're saying that Phoenix system cannot be fixed, but the members or shared departments employees can fix it by replacing or doing stuff or new programs like the Phoenix.
The shared services department can develop its own. We could just use a base as the old legacy system, and develop from there how we can improve that. We could have done that a long time ago. Improve the old system. As a software developer in my private life, in the company that I've working with a friend of mine, Bellasoft, we have an old legacy system built 20, 30 years ago that we have that's still running in some businesses. All we did is just go in there and just develop a new system. You had to use new software, new programming languages, all that sort of stuff, but it was redeveloped to be a Windows-based system and much more functional than it has been in the past. And it was more versatile, more user friendly, right? So that's what we're looking for in the federal public Phoenix system, replaced by a federal public pay system, right?
Mm-hmm. What are other visions? What are other goals that you have for your members aside from creating or modifying the communication systems from the national to its local?
Well, we need to communicate with our members, and it doesn't mean that we need, as a national president, the president to be running around to the different areas of the country trying to communicate with members, because that's not very efficient. It costs a lot of money. There are a lot of resources already in the regions. They're called regional vice presidents or national vice presidents, and they're already there. They can communicate to their local presidents. The local presidents can communicate with their locals, and it should be mandated. It should be a UVAE policy that our members be communicated with on a regular basis through this tree. And this communication tree can be used also for political action, strikes, mobilization, that sort of stuff. We got to really mobilize our members, and the only way to do that, we have a lot of locals that are not mobilized, and some locals that are, depending on who's the local president, and they're not their abilities, but their level of expertise. And so training is also key. Training, communications. So to have local regional communications and training sessions, to spend some of our money to train our members, because when you get into the national office and you become a national president, the training shouldn't end. You shouldn't go, oh, this is the end goal, I've reached it, so I must not need any more training. No, it should actually be enhanced. So right from there, when the national executive meets, one day, even the first day, should be set aside for just training. Bring in the PSAC education area have a trainer come in and let's work on, what do you say, public speaking or communications or building websites to mobilize members, member mobilization, political action, all these different areas that could be trained in, so that's where we can start, and where that ends is be all the members, feeling that they are a part of this bigger movement.
So there must be an organizational chain of command or chain of communications from the local to the national.
Yes, it works both ways. Once you have the tree going down, you have the tree going up, right? The roots feed the branches, and the branches feed the tree, the leaves on the branches, right? And the tree is the union, the roots are the members, and the branches are the people that are gathering the information and disseminating it to everybody.
Okay,
right?
Aside from all those major goals that you want for your component, what are the other minor goals that can be achieved within your term, specifically if given the chance to become a national president of the UVAE?
The smaller goals are to have a good line of communication with members of parliament, with the management in Veterans Affairs, to deal with, very important. This cannot be forgotten. Is that we have a Deer Lodge in Winnipeg. They are a care facility, and they look after elderly patients, disabled people. So my father was the executive director for the Hospital Employees Union. I sat at the table all the time when he talked about issues dealing with care facilities and hospitals. So I know the issues that they have, and I continually follow HEU and what they're doing in these days. And I know that the issues are the same no matter what province you are in, especially when you're in a province that's being under attack, like BC was under attack by our previous government, and the current Deer Lodge Centre residents and the members there are under attack by their conservative government. So I know how to fight these fights, and I have the connections in the labor movement to fight them. And it's about time that we use the connections, that we use the knowledge that we have. Like, I have a lot of knowledge that I can help spread that, the knowledge that I have. I have a lot of knowledge, I have a lot of experience. I'm 50 years old. At 50, I've learned a few things in life, right? I've learned patience, but I've also learned how to fight effectively for my issues that I need to win. And I can fight effectively, and I can win, whether it's a provincial or in federal.
You can win with the help of all your colleagues as well, not just one, though. That's
why the communication tree, because it's not just me fighting them; it's the people having the information, the training to fight. Right? If you're knowledgeable, you have a good chance of winning.
So you're talking about the human rights for those people in Deer Lodge. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm always into human rights. I'm a member with disabilities. I have psychological disabilities, invisible disabilities, and I've been involved. I'm the Members with Disabilities Coordinator on the PSAC BC Regional Council. I represent all the members with disabilities in BC, and so I want to help people with disabilities and fight for their rights everywhere where I go. And as a national president, I think I'd be the first person with disability as a national president.
Okay. Can I ask you something about disabilities? Will your disability threaten your becoming a national president?
Yeah, there's a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of stress, but I've learned how to deal with those things over the past. I've had it all my life. I've had my disability, my psychological disability all my life. At some points I had no idea how to deal with them, but I've learned in the last little while how to deal with my disability. And it's something I like to share with people. This is that I have this disability, and it can be managed. It can be manageable. There are points in, there are ups and downs. People are a modicum of health. They can be from healthy to sick, but it's always there. But I have it not necessarily completely under control, but I have it manageable, that I can understand how to deal with situations when they arise. And sure, people may have this understanding, oh, well, people with disabilities can't do this or that. Well, yes, we can. People with psychological disabilities can function at a high level, which I already do. And you can see right now, I function at a high level. And even though I have a disability, it doesn't seem to affect anything that I do.
So disability cannot hinder you from becoming a successful candidate for national president?
I would hope not. As a person with a disability, I would hope that anybody with a disability can achieve any dream that they wish to achieve, no matter how far down the scale they've gone.
Oh, that's an awesome answer. So, we wish you good luck for your national convention, and hoping that this interview will rise up to another level of your candidacy.
Thank you so much. Bonne journée.